Okay, so we're back again for another exciting Legend of Dungeon playthrough. My last couple of episodes, unfortunately, the microphone was not plugged in, so I wasn't able to record any sound on them. It's okay because it didn't get too far. And, I don't know if I really said anything interesting that hasn't already been said about this game. Although, I was thinking today that Legend of Dungeon is a little bit like a spiritual journey. You start at the beginning and if you get it wrong, well, you just come back and start all over again. It's kind of like, I don't know, Hinduism or something, I guess. You kind of take your karma into the next life, and hopefully things work out a little bit better next time. But if you have any kind of spiritual leanings or religious leanings, you know what I'm talking about. There's path of life, and try and find your way through, acquire as much treasure as possible, hopefully do something useful in the process. And for those of you just starting to watch this Legend of Dungeon series, the first, I'd say 4 or 5 levels are actually pretty boring in terms of action and activity. I'm not going to see too many exciting monsters that you really need to be afraid of. You can pretty much kind of go where you'd like to, learn your swing time so you don't get hit too many times by bats, because they do take off 5 damage a shot. Learn about snakes and apples and so on. But that's pretty much it. You can also learn about the little beer trick. You watch the experience down there. That's the second column up, or from the bottom. And you can make that go up by drinking beer. It's Beerience or Exier, if you want to try and combine those words into one. And another good rule to follow in this game, I think, is to try and go back to close to maximum health relatively early. Right before you go into a level, or before you start to meet some monsters. And I did get a book there. It's the Viney something Tome of Vines. I don't know what it's called. The Wild's Tome of Vines, and that'll tie up any characters in a set of vines. Kind of a cool book. You just raise your hand like that. See, it takes a little while to recharge, but then you raise your hand and the vines come forth from the floor. Pretty neat. Not very useful in later levels, but it certainly is a help here in the early levels. Not much use with an eye or anything equally powerful. Oh, I just did this, I'm sorry. But, if you need to get around a zombie or a mummy or something, quite a useful little tool to have. So, let's see, where are we here? I bet that is a door. Nope, not a door. Oh well. Still looking for the way out here, not having much luck, unfortunately. Let's try this way. There's a couple of extra doors we didn't see before. Chances are the stairs are down there somewhere. Won't be this one, but there is a cool little switch we can hit with the sword and head on down this door, which brings us right back to the beginning of the level. So, stairs down are here. Probably don't want to spend quite as much time on the first few levels, or at least as much as on the first level as I did there. It's not really worth your time. Not enough gold and experience to really justify the expenditure of that much of your life. But, there are rooms you're going to have to go through like this one, which just have a lot of characters in them, and, just get used to fighting. Coming out alive on the other side. And, if you can acquire as many apples as you can, although it doesn't look like I'm really doing a great job with that here today. Quite a few more characters than you'll probably see, although the dungeons are randomized in terms of their size, number of doors, complexity, at least from what I've been able to piece together from playing it. So you never really know what you're going to get in terms of equipment and resources. So it's kind of exciting that way, and that every day is a little different. And usually you can luck out in levels 1 through 4 and accumulate a fair number of potions, get enough apples to bring you back up to full strength. If you're lucky, you might get a book or two, but that's pretty rare, I would say. Getting the Tome of Vines is fairly uncommon. I'd say maybe once every 20 times you'll see that, which gives you an indication of how many times I've actually played the game, which is quite a lot. But you can see I've accumulated a couple of potions. And since there really isn't, well, here's a little gold. I guess we'll go over and get that. Since there really isn't a lot going on in these levels, you don't really need to worry. Level 5 is probably the first time you'll see a mage or a lich king, and those are the ones that have books that actually will help you get through the rest of the game. So those are worth fighting for. Goblins, they do sometimes steal stuff, whether it's gold or potions, so it's worthwhile to take them down. Although those few were not. Try and take down the snakes, because like I said, I think in a previous episode, it's usually 2 snakes, 1 apple. So you kill 1 snake, and then the next snake, you'll usually get an apple, I would say. And apples are worthwhile because they can replenish hit points when you don't know what your potions are, and just kind of give you a little nice performance tweak as you're... Okay, so that one gave me an apple, this one probably won't. Oh, he did. Well, there goes my mathematical theory of snakes and apples. So here's a good place to use that Tome of Vines. We can tie up that guardian so it doesn't get us as we're walking through there. See, smooth as silk. Ugh, just annoying. He will eventually get out of there, but that's a useful little tool. We're going to head on down to level 4, or as they say in Spain, Niveau 4. Oh, and here's an eye, which we will not be messing around with because they are very mean. There are lots of snakes there, which mean lots of apples, but without a good book. Now here's a good place for the Book of Vines. Can't touch that. This is a whole room of fun here, isn't it? Oh, and that looks like a 5K Blades of Awesome, which we are going to take advantage of, because that is a pretty cool little toy to have. Produces a series of 5 or 6 red skulls, each of which do, I believe, 20 damage, which is enough to make that mummy go crying home to mommy. And we get a little skull mask there, so we will take it. 5K Blades of Awesome is pretty fun. I think we could actually go back and take on that eye now. As long as we kind of hit and run as we do it. Let's check it out and see what we get here. Maybe we can take care of him enough to do that. I don't know if that was worthwhile or not. Lost about half my health there. Probably won't make it up with apples from the snakes, but I always can hope. Let's see how many we've got. 2. Try and trip that again. And bring a snake or 2 out so we can take care of the rest. And that should do it. So I got a little experience, some apples. Hit that one more time. And it'll probably end up about even there. I'm pretty close to even anyway. And that's good enough for me. So with a sword like that, you can pretty much terrorize most of the creatures on this level. I won't be able to do much damage with all those friendly skulls. And take advantage of that and light up a few of your buddies here. Light up their life, like the Barbara Streisand song. I believe it is. Boy, that really dates me if I know what a Barbara Streisand song is, isn't it? Although, if you have been to Las Vegas, you maybe would have seen her. Oh, and a nice hat, looks like we got here. A couple more potions. And some apples. Let's see what the hat does. Ethereal Feathered Hat of Feebleness. I don't know that that really is helping us, so we're going to chuck it. And move on with our other items. There we go. Take care of this guy. This looks like another trap. Let's see if we can trip it. There we go. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Oh, a Cyclops. Oh, and he just damaged me beyond what I was hoping for. But that's how it goes sometimes. Legend of Dungeon hubris. Just when you think you have a big sword, you think you're the cat's meow, and then one of the monsters will cut you down to size. Count on that. Alright. So since we're kind of low here, we might kind of take a little potion vacation. See what we can find out about our potions this game. This bat down here. Alright, so let's see what we got for potions. We got a lime green potion, that is a small health. At this point, probably don't need to mess around with the other ones. Gets us pretty close to full health, and unless we get some apples or something, I think I'll just stick with that for now. And now we're just trying to find the stairs. Got a rogue hood. Ooh, nimble rogue hood of protection, so we get rid of the... Oops. Oh, come on! Ah! Alright, there we go. Get rid of that. Looks like we got a room full of mummies. So we'll take advantage of the 5k blades of awesomeness. And let the skulls, or the magic missiles, do the work. Nothing like having good magic missile sword on your side. Heavy goblin hat of protection. See